You gotta be a lunatic if you're gonna be a vulture.
We need an emergency evac right now, and that's not an option!
This is some kind of nightmare!
We won't survive an hour!
Gentlemen, if you've ever been sent to go recover a group of Green Berets in the jungles of Vietnam, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Today we are talking about one of the most famous firearms of all time, a fan favorite in the gun community, the Car-15. This one in particular is built to resemble the one used by Ryan Baker in the upcoming movie Primitive War.
And get ready.
That's pretty freaking cool. I felt it was time to decorate the office a little bit, but I swear Black Ops has something to do with what we're talking about. And it's no surprise Black Ops is one of my favorite video games. I practically built a channel around it, but if you follow me on social media and you've seen this channel before, then you know a couple things about me. One, I'm more of a filmmaker than I am a gun guy. Probably like Transformers more than the average person. But before I got into any of that stuff, my first love was dinosaurs. Oh yeah, especially that one. And it's something that I still keep up with today. I even collect fossils anytime I get a chance to. But I swear all of this is relevant because I have to talk to you guys about something that I am just stupidly stoked about. If you follow me on Instagram, you know exactly what this is. This is the first Primitive War book written by Ethan Pettis, and it is being turned into a movie that is coming out August 21st. During the Vietnam War, a special operations group known as VULTURE SQUAD is sent out to go recover a group of Green Berets. Along the way, they find a bunch of dinosaurs, and absolute mayhem ensues. When I first heard about this, I bought the book. I didn't read it for a little bit, but I went on vacation recently, and I could not put this thing down. Especially after seeing the trailer, which has probably the best use of Fortunate Son I have ever seen.
I'm gonna go find them, dead or alive.
I am beyond stoked for this movie. I am more stoked for this movie than I have been for a lot of things in a long time. I swear Ethan Pettis is either a clone of me, or he and I had the exact same childhood growing up. This book is Call of Duty Black Ops meets Jurassic Park. There's a couple references in this book that if they're not in the movie, I'm going to be very disappointed because they are too good not to have in the movie. But again, what does any of this have to do with the Car-15? Well, the reason is because the main character and the leader of VULTURE SQUAD is Ryan Baker, and his weapon of choice is the Car-15.
Sergeant, what the hell are these things?
So, I always knew that I would eventually get around to making a Car-15 video. Sort of a gun-tube rite of passage, if you will, but I never knew what type of direction I wanted to take that video. Especially with considering that there's so many videos out there about this thing that it's hard not to feel like you're encroaching on things that have already been done. But I guarantee you there's not a damn one where the focus is about dinosaurs, so let's jump right into this.
Nobody move a muscle.
So the Car-15 is a weapon that doesn't really need an introduction. It's, for all intents and purposes, it's just a basic AR-15/M16. Now the military versions obviously were full auto, whereas this is a civilian version. There we only have semi-auto features, so if you touch it, you have to fire the round, and then you have to let off the trigger before you can go ahead and refire the gun. But in all reality, the Car-15 is really just an iconic weapon in history. It stands shoulder and shoulder with some of the more famous variants like the M16A1, A2, A4. It's easily recognizable by the majority of the gun crowd, and even if you're not a hardcore gun enthusiast, you probably recognize this from some sort of media.
Hey, I've seen this one. This is a classic.
And with that, there's not a lot of stuff to go over, especially when it comes to YouTube videos where everyone and their mother has gone over the Car-15. There's a couple points that I'll touch on, don't worry, and there's a couple things that I have on this thing that might be a little bit different, but for the most part, it's just the basic same Car-15 that you've seen everywhere. Now, the cool thing that we have about this one is that this one is built, or really sort of done up to resemble the Car-15 that is shown to be used by Sergeant Ryan Baker in the new movie Primitive War. This is a very dino-heavy video, if you can't tell. Now here's the real fun part. If you've read the book, then you probably noticed this, but as soon as you start reading the book, you'll notice that the author goes into detail about exactly what type of firearms the soldiers are using. Everything from the Car-15 to the Stoner 63. By the way, if anybody has a Stoner 63 that they'd like to send me, that would be very cash money of you. You know, I'm kind of like, procrastinating going over this thing, because, I mean, what the hell else am I going to say? I guess, for the people that aren't really into guns, you know what, we'll go over this thing just so, for those of you that don't know, now you know. So, the most interesting thing, especially with me, that I find about the Car-15 is specifically this little brake compensator. I'm not exactly sure what its technical term is called, but it's a pretty iconic piece of this firearm. Now, the interesting thing about this is that it was developed to mimic the sound of a 7.62 rifle, the AK-47. That way, when commandos were running around shooting up with this thing, it would sound to enemy forces who weren't in the immediate vicinity that, oh, an AK's going off, one of my own members must be shooting at something, and it wouldn't immediately ring alarm bells. This is actually not one of those devices. And the reason that this is not one of those devices is because, unfortunately, and I think the reason why is because it modifies the sound. Don't quote me on that. Ian from Forgotten Weapons has a very good video about this. Because this modifies the sound of a firearm, the original devices are technically classified as suppressors. They're NFA items. So you can't just buy one of these and have it shipped to you. You have to go through the process, which unfortunately means that this is not the same device that was used on the OG Car-15s. This is a clone that doesn't modify the sound. This is a PSA upper. I'll get into that a little bit later. But this is not exactly a clone, but it looks the part. It's just the civilian clone version. There's nothing really crazy to talk about it. So this one is built out specifically to resemble Ryan Baker's Car-15 from Primitive War. More specifically, the one that's being showcased in the movie and in the promotional material. So everything's PSA, and I wanted to keep everything PSA for this video. I didn't want to go source and OG Car-15 or even SBR my Colt A2 lower. I want to keep that blower as is. But the cool thing about this lower right here, and I'm probably going to put this trigger in the other one, is that this is one of the LaRue triggers. In my 416, I have a Geisley, and in here I have the LaRue, which they're pretty close. I really like both of them, but there, let's go ahead and, God, it's like nothing, and then it's a really, really good trigger. Now, there's nothing really unique about Ryan Baker's Car-15 except for this really kind of cool looking rope sling that he's got going on. Originally, I have just a basic retro sling, like a canteen sling, but Ryan Baker has his set up with just rope, like green rope. So went ahead and copied that, and other than that, that's not real. There's nothing really too crazy going on. I mean, it's a Car-15. It's one of the most recognizable styles of AR ever, and as soon as I saw that the main character in this movie was rocking a car, that was it. I wanted to do a car video. I've been planning one for a while, but I didn't know the angle that I wanted to take this video at. Turns out my 5-year-old self had it right. Just throw dinosaurs in there. So here's the deal. So the upper is a Harrington and Richardson. Yep, going back to PSA, you guys know that I am king of the pores and that the majority of my gun clone builds, there's some sort of Palmetto State Armory product involved. So with this one, we have a PSA upper and a PSA lower, specifically the H&R Car-15 upper with the 11.5 barrel with this little compensator. And then we do have one of my SBR'd PSA lowers that I had lying around. So the thing is that this is not pin and welded. It's not permanently attached. So this is an 11.5 inch barrel, so you do have to SBR this thing if you do want to have one of these things with a stock on it, which we do. Now the lower is also just a basic PSA lower. I do have an H&R lower that I picked up the other day. I'm going through the SBR process, and as soon as that's finished up, we'll have it thrown on here and we'll do some video with that. But I mean, honestly, as of right now, the only real difference that you're going to see from those two is the markings on the side and the color of the lower. Now coming back, we do have just the basic Car-15 stock. This thing has been all over the channel. This is the one that was on the Commando, and now it's on the real life Commando, which is something a lot of people pointed out in my comments last year when I did the Commando video, is that the real life Commando is really the Car-15, which the designation for this, I think, is the XM177 is the designation for this rifle. So as of time of recording this, the movie is not out yet. So all we've had to go on so far are set photos, movie posters, and behind the scenes pics. Okay, one more thing. Ryan is not running 20 round magazines. He is running 30 round magazines. Now I know a lot of dudes were given 20 round magazines in Vietnam. I've ran 20 round magazines in anything Vietnam era before, but in the posters and in the movies, Ryan is running 30 round magazines. So we are running some US old school US magazines. So I don't know exactly what type of magazines they are. These were a gift from a family member, but they are the light green followers. So maybe some of you in the comments can tell me what specific type of magazines those are. But that is the basic overview of this firearm. This is just a basic Palmetto State Armory Car-15. PSA has really helped the retro game in the last couple of years. One, by buying up H&R, making a lot of these older designs, one, affordable and available. It's just really helped with the resurgence of the retro style build. We're also seeing a lot of this stuff come back in media and pop culture, specifically with Black Ops 6, as well as Primitive War. We got a Black Hawk Down documentary that came out a little while ago. So the resurgence of the retro rifle has been seen for the last couple of years, and personally, I am a big fan of that. I'm going to continue to run these things, I'm going to continue to show these off, and I am just really happy that I finally have a Car-15 in the collection. So look, there's another reason that I wanted to make this video. Yes, the Car-15 is cool, and I know a lot of you are here for the Car-15, but if you just give me a second, I want to talk about something. I love movies, I love guns, and I love dinosaurs. And this movie is something that sort of speaks to me on a very personal level. This book, this movie, this whole IP. I'm so happy this exists. And I'm really, really happy that this is getting a movie adaptation. I hope the movie's good. And if it is good, I want to encourage all of you to go out and check it out. And just go see it, even if you just have even like the slightest interest in the gun side, the dinosaur side, hell, even the filmmaking side. I looked it up. We were talking about in the other video, anamorphic lenses. This was shot on DZO anamorphic lenses. So boom, there's another connection right there. But the thing that I want to get across is that Jurassic Park and Universal as a whole has sort of this chokehold on the dinosaur film IP. And I think that that needs to change. And I think this movie has the opportunity to make that change, or at least start that change. One thing about this book that I find really, really cool is that all of the dinosaurs, with a few exceptions, are shown in what is the current scientific understanding of these animals, up to even replacing one creature in here with the Spinosaurus in the movie so that we can get a new, up-to-date, modern depiction of Spinosaurus. And I want this movie to do well, one, so that we have more of this series, because this is just not one book, this is a series of books. And two, I want the studios to start making more, maybe not so much original, but taking risks with other IPs. I want this movie to be good, first and foremost, because I want to promote good filmmaking, but I also want more movies like this. So, sorry for that rant. This is something that just, it touches every part of my interests, of the things that I like, the things that I followed for years. Guns, dinosaurs, filmmaking. I know that I'm not in the paleo community, I'm more in the gun community, but I've got my hands in a couple different things. Filmmaking, graphics design, yada yada yada. So anyway, rant over. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to check this video out. Listen to me ramble about dinosaurs and guns and cameras and Black Ops and crap like that, but I appreciate you all watching this video and taking the time just to hang out. So thank you all so much. I really appreciate it.